All right, here we go. This is the grand final of the Horse 2v2 tournament. There is a pretty large cash prize in this event. I'm not sure if they're going to have a third place playoff. Did they say anything about that, Leaf?
I didn't check. I suppose there would be, because the cash prize is sufficiently large enough for a third place prize. No.
But we're in the game now, so on the top left-hand side, playing as the purple GDI, we have z+Tipzee and his ally over here, Stephen Donald Nashington. He's going to be the green Nod.
And so far, in the right of Forgotten Forest, we can see BikeRush playing as the red Nod, retaining Nod, and down in the bottom, we can see playing as the yellow. It's going to be Senna. He's going to be here, GDI.
RT on Senna.
But this time he's playing as Djokovic, which is a Slovenian tennis player. I'm not sure if he's from Slovenia.
Yeah, he's from, wait, where is it? Slovenia? Or Serbia?
I think so.
I think it might be Serbia.
One of the two. Oh man. Looks like we already have a mistake by Tipzee. Maybe the nerves getting to him, but he's forgotten about the tip spikes. Will be slightly delayed on that.
It's not a huge deal. I mean, what cost him maybe a couple of seconds.
I don't think that there'll be too much rushing going on in this first game, because we all know how important it is. Losing and winning the first game, it has a huge impact on the games afterwards.
Hardcore anti-scout by Bike and Senna there, drafting towers to stop both scouts entering their base. So with the Raider buggy coming out, so they obviously don't want to get rushed by anything, but they're going to find that, I mean, on this map, you'd probably expect these two players, Nash and Tipzee, just to go down the eco path, and they're probably not too fast. They need to make sure they get those scouting paths back open again. Although Nash is scouting with a bike, which is pretty unusual.
I didn't like that because, you know, there is a chance that the Senna could have gone for Pitbull first and could have intercepted that. I think it's way more reliable to go for the buggy.
Well, this is going to be annoying because he's actually going to be able to attack the MCV, and if he attacks the MCV from behind, he can actually do a ton more damage than what he's doing, but he's almost taken 50% of the health off of it, and he's making sure that he doesn't get caught by that Pitbull. He's going to leave now, so, I mean, he just wiped 50% of the health off that MCV. That could pay dividends in a future attack. I mean, it's one of those things that's really going to play on your mind.
He did just lose the bike though, however, so Phoenix will lose his scout. BikeRush will go for bikes. I'm not sure if he's on double war factory. Doesn't look like he is. He's going for a triple ref. But looking to punish the expansion here of Tipzee. Tipzee will, however, be putting his harvester back. Nice work. Pitbull's coming in to defend.
He appears to be on point there, like rallying the Pitbulls properly, although he's rallying the harvester. Maybe he's going for the blue tib field, actually. I don't believe that he would have caught that in selection because of the way harvesters operate. But yeah, he's going to go for the blue tib field. A couple of Pitbulls there as well. BikeRush just scouting out the enemy base.
Do we have anyone going for double war factory? No, it looks like everyone's just going with this single war factory spam, not deciding to go for harvesters.
That harvester from Senna there, he's going to... Well, what are they doing? They're going to go for the units, actually. They're going to try to target the units. I would have thought they could have taken that. They're going to thin Bike's numbers down. They're actually going to go for the harvester now. If they get two harvesters, this will be pretty big.
God.
Just
I do think
harvester.
you should stick around. Price will be too much.
Yeah, you got to remember that they traded pretty equal on the units as well, but they also got a harvester, so I mean that's pretty good for Nash and Tipzee. It's hard to say who the underdog in this series is. I think just going into it on paper, they should be pretty well even. You would have thought that maybe Tipzee and Nash would have the 2v2 formula sorted out a little bit better.
I think Senna, like, he's probably the most inconsistent of them all. But anyways, there is harvesters here being destroyed by BikeRush. Well, BikeRush, he's taking a lot of heat in the top of the map.
I thought there was something happening at the bottom then. There is some Pitbull counter harass, but yeah, BikeRush is going to lose one. Oh, that just re-stealths in time. There is now a counter attack, so we can see that Tipzee is under attack. There's only 3 Pitbulls, and he's microing his harvester like a madman, trying to save that one. He's not doing too bad a job, but I don't think he's going to be able to save it.
It would be epic if he could save it.
That was tight. The last shot before the pit bulls went down managed to destroy it. But you know what? BikeRush having lost, I mean, it would have been better if he lost that second harvester. But nonetheless, they have withstood that attack. The thing about Senna, I think that Nash and Tipsy knows that they probably know that Senna might hardcore eco, and they want to take advantage of that, which is probably why we saw that really determined strike on both fields. Oh, we're going to see clicks.
I have to commend Nash and Tipsy for one thing. The refinery placement is just amazing. Because the one click won't be able to get more than one refinery. That's a really good idea, putting the refinery on the other side of the Tib field by Phoenix. I really like that.
He tried to use a decoy army as well on his harvesters to get vision, but Nash actually destroyed them, and they probably don't have vision on any of the refs except for the front one. And yeah, that's very well thought out by Tipsy and Nash, and they're not even going to get a harvester, they're going to get one ref, and that's it. That's not worth it.
And look at BikeRush's refineries and the expansion. Like, those are prime for clicking.
Yeah, that looks slightly too close together. I think if Nash gets wind of that, he might take a swing at it. You got to remember that Nash didn't lose his second ref. It was Tipsy, which means Nash's economy is intact, so he could technically go down the path. It looks like what Tipsy and Nash are doing is definitely pre-thought out. They just seem to be working in synergy quite well at the moment.
Seems like they're making a transition now, though. Tipsy's going for Mammoth tanks. A curious choice. You'd expect to see Juggernauts, because usually when you contest those middle fields, it's artillery that you need. Mammoth tanks is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know about it, and he's almost got railguns. He could run across the map with these mammoths, you know, because they probably think that, you know, this is just going to be low-tier units. Nash might need some help, though. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this by himself. This could be a problem if they don't turn around.
There's just no buggies there to tank the damage, and with that AP ammo, it's just going to shred through those bikes.
Hopefully there is a Sonic emitter ready to go, because he needs one. Nash just deployed, and he doesn't have a tech center. Well, he does have a tech center, but he was putting down shredder turrets. Tipsy's economy is under attack.
I guess you could say that's the one advantage going Black Hand or Mop. You get those particle beams, which is handy in situations like this.
Senna is backing up just slightly. There's actually quite a lot of bikes here. Oh, Tipsy's bringing his tanks down. He didn't actually really lose. I don't think he lost any harvesters. He might have lost maybe one, but they somehow hold the attack. The problem is, though, is that instead of moving these mammoth tanks across the map, they're down the bottom. There's actually only... Is there only 4 of them? 5? I thought he would have had more than that.
Look at the blue field in the middle. Do you think Senna's going to put those zones in the hammerheads? That's something I've never seen him do before. Oh man, is he really putting that in the Marv? Oh, I think he could have. Maybe not as good though, because there is typical bikes out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about hammerheads or zone heads is that zone heads don't really have a use against Nod and GDI. GDI will just build Firehawks, which will base instantly destroy them, and Nod units with Tib Core and the way their AA works. I mean, zone troopers, they're only good against Screen, in my opinion. Just with the way Screen operate and the fact that you need something to do with those tripods.
Oh man,
Nod, there's too much stealth.
Phoenix has got a huge gap here. He sees 2 harvesters, though Senna is quick enough to pull them back to the defense of BikeRush's avatars. He will score himself a harvester though, Phoenix, and I don't think there's anything here to defend. There is just an obelisk.
Yeah, he's definitely found a gap. Oh, is he going to find these harvesters going to the blue tib field? Oh, he's going to be able to destroy them. They're not harvesters. They are much lightly armored. He should get at least one. Hopefully get the second one.
BikeRush's MCV is in peril if Phoenix focuses on it.
Oh yeah, he's got 3 mammoth tanks here. He takes out the power grid, and he could just take out this MCV if he wants. That's definitely an obelisk on the way. The bike buggy was destroyed. Senna is pushing this base with his Juggernauts avatars. And there's obelisk and mammoth tanks. But yeah, BikeRush is going to lose his MCV.
How many war factors does he have? Just 1?
Oh my god, does he have 1?
Yeah, he only has 1.
He has 1. If Tipsy... Well, obviously Tipsy is probably not going to be aware of that, but...
Oh my god, if he just kills the war factory with those 3 mammoth tanks, he has it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that's his only 1. Senna's having to Marvis the middle field. He doesn't have a stealthed Marv, so he must have used a cloaking field on that. Now, Tipzee has got the top field. He needs more harvesters, though. And Nash is running the counter harass while Tipzee's being the brute force. They are going to get attacked again. But yeah, there's a Redeemer out and there's stealth towers. It's going to be hard for them to attack into this. I mean, the defender's always going to have an advantage when you're attacking into stealth.
Did you bring up the fact that Senna and BikeRush cloaked their epic units at the same time?
Not at the same time. I did know the Marv was cloaked. That's a huge rage gen, by the way. Oh my god, so much damage comes down on the force there. BikeRush's force takes a lot of punishment though. The Redeemer is close to dying, but the Marv is not. I think they might have need to focus their units a bit better. And once again, Bike's Redeemer is going to just eke away. He does get hit by the EMP, so these Mammoth tanks should be able to destroy it. Oh man, just shoot at the Redeemer. The Mammoth tanks are not shooting at the Redeemer.
Oh my god, I think
There's
the Marv here, it's in range of the Juggernauts. The Juggernauts are all dead, the Redeemer lives. Things have just gone from bad to worse for Phoenix and...
They really whiffed that engagement. I mean, they could have destroyed the Redeemer, but he wasn't controlling the Mammoth tanks. And now this base is probably going to fall. Nash did rip through all the harvesters of BikeRush in the bottom right, but I don't think it's going to matter because they need something to do with this army, because look at that, they're just taking the husks back now.
You know, I have to say, Senna's really brought his A game today. Like, he's supporting his ally really well. Like, look at all these avatars here.
Look at that flank. Did you see that the Marv is down?
Wow, takes out the Marv. How did that happen? All those Juggernauts in the
Reinforcements.
top.
This is not over yet, actually. This is not over yet. Tipzee does have an economy. Nash, there's a Marv inside the top right base, and it's going for Bike's tech center. So maybe not. Maybe not over just yet.
Oh no, if Phoenix stays there, he's going to lose his Redeemer. I don't think that would have been affected by Rage. Nonetheless, it does get taken out. That's the one remaining tank gone now for Phoenix and Tipzee. I think this is all over for them, unless I'm mistaken here.
Yeah, they need to be able to deal with this army relatively soon, because if this base gets overrun, I believe there's, most of Nash's technology is based down there. The Marv is still causing problems in the top right, and Tipzee does have a pretty big economy at the top, but he doesn't really have any army or forces there. That's the big problem.
Yeah, I totally missed the Marv in the top of the map. I thought that Tipzee didn't have that. However, this army of Juggernauts just looks totally unstoppable right now. I don't see how he's going to stop this. Maybe a quick transition to zone heads would be the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, BikeRush is limited on his tech options. I mean, he's got an MCV out now. Oh no, they're actually just both throwing the towel.
Yeah, there's just too many Juggernauts there.
It looked good for them, but I just think, that engagement down the bottom, they probably should have controlled it a bit better, and they really could have taken out the Redeemer and done some more damage, but the Rage gens were pretty much on point.
I saw Phoenix had a few bikes in the bottom killing harvesters, but it just wasn't enough in the end. They lost the main engagement, and that's really all that mattered there.
I mean, if they were able to hold the main engagement, or at least inflict significant damage, then that counter harass probably would have won them the game, but unfortunately that's not the case. Yeah, so I've had to obviously quickly tab out and fix those factions, but this is going to be interesting. This is going to be really interesting. So we're on the map Hurricane Lands, and on the top right hand side, playing as the purple GDI, it's going to be z+Tipzee, z+Tipzee, and his ally Stephen Donald Nashington, the green screen vanilla.
And in the bottom, we can see Senna playing as the yellow GDI and BikeRush's ally playing as Masterleaf Kane. So BikeRush opting to go with the Masterleaf Kane. They're going to be enjoying a nice 1-0 advantage in this series.
Definitely was still a good game to watch, and by no means a walkover or anything like that. Both sides played very competitively. Bike did build an Awakened squad quite pricey at the start of the game, but virtually undefeatable unless you really stuff something up.
They are better now because they don't take tip exposure, so you can just put them in an opponent's tip field and you won't have to worry about them dying.
Looks like BikeRush is cursing command post because CGF continues to disable the disable notification panel, so you tend to get spammed with notifications endlessly, and even if you disable it, it doesn't really do anything because he just re-enables it later on. But losing his scout inside the structure there, always annoying.
And it doesn't look like we got anything fancy coming from our players so far. I suppose it's going to be interesting to see what Phoenix has in mind with Scrin.
He does get a full scout off, so even though BikeRush went for a Raider buggy, he's only going to get 2 of the squads, so the third one gets in, sees everything. He does have 3, yeah, he's got 3 EMP at the top, so he's probably just going to chain EMP these units here. I don't think Nash is going to be too fussed about it. He's just going to expand.
Packing up the drone ship is a huge deal because now his ally can't place down a base defense. So these are mock away can get more than what they bargained for.
He did power down both refs as well, which has of course now led to 3 harvesters queuing at 1 ref. But Nash fixes that basically immediately.
I'm not sure. Do you think that was worth it for BikeRush to do that?
Not sure. I mean, Nash did expand without a second power plant, so he's had some serious power issues, and he's still being hit by these. But I mean, it's really just annoying at this point. Nash needs to make sure that Gunwalker, is actually killing those units. Bike's going to get a scout off, and Senna going to expand. So both sides can see what the other are doing. So nothing fancy happening just yet aside from the EMP shenanigans.
He's even going for Phoenix is going for Seekers now. Is that a panic Seeker? Or is he continuing to pump them out, potentially to go for a spike push? That's the only thing I can see coming. Yeah, he's going for more Seekers. He's on 4 Harvesters, and is that 2 stacking up there? Yeah, it is. So I expect a spike push to come out. So Senna's going to be under some serious attack soon.
And Senna, of course, is going, I believe, this is going to be a second, it's going to be a ref on his expansion, so, and Tipzee and Nash fully aware of that, so they know it's a heavy eco, but now becomes the window, or the window is going to start closing for their attack to actually do anything. I'm not sure what Nash's plans were, because look at this, Tipzee's moving his MCV. He's got 2 MCVs. Are you seeing this?
Oh man, he did this to me, and he did this because he wanted to put down sonic emitters in my field. I was Scrin though, and I didn't have tech. I guess if your opponent doesn't have tech and goes tier 1, this can really catch you by surprise because sonic emitters is just so cost effective against
there's a beacon,
1.
so we can see that Bike got back in with the scout, but he misses the second MCV, and he's going to see the MCV at the expansion, so he's not going to know about it. This is going to catch them. They're going to spot it now, but I mean, Senna is in so much trouble. He's not going for a tech center. He's queuing something else. He's cancelled it. He knows he's in trouble. And here come the towers. Buzzer Swarm comes down, and Senna's defense just evaporates there. And now it's up to these guys to start. Whoa, it's going to be... Is he going for just lots of AP ammo towers?
Tipzee's queuing a building that's taking a long time to build from his other MCV. It's going to be a tech center. So expect to see sonic emitters coming down here. That's way sooner than what BikeRush and Senna would have been expecting.
Yeah, I think Laserfield comes down, so he is here to stay. I mean, they're committed, so they need to really make sure that they stay here. Photon Cannon's coming down to help him out as well. There's actually a foxhole there. No attack, no counterattack from Nash, so this push from Tipzee's somewhat stopped a little bit. Second War Factory's down. No tech center coming down for Senna, and there's the first double sonic. Oh my god, this is going to hurt a lot. And the EMP blast, maybe regretting putting those sonics so close together. He's going to chain EMP those.
There's just nothing though to kill them. He's just going to delay the inevitable. Like, there's nothing to kill them. Yeah, does Bike have a tech center down? No, he doesn't.
They're going to power back up. I mean, a Marv is coming down from Tipzee now, and yeah, the EMP is good, but I mean, the EMP, a second round of Sonics needs to come down, like right now, and he does put him down, but he puts them right next to each other again, and even after being EMP'd, the way he was EMP'd, he could get one shot with the EMP again.
Exactly. And I don't like the positioning either. I would put them slightly behind the maximum radius of the MCV just so you can plant like a barracks in front just to meat shield them.
I mean, Senna's in a lot of trouble because Senna's going to run out of money, and he's not really going to be able to harvest here very efficiently. He just lost the ref as well with the last shot from the Sonic. And I mean, there's Juggernauts, there's a Marv coming, so I don't think he needs the double Sonic anymore. He's only got one ref on his expansion, Tipzee does, but Nash is also one ref. He had some dev tanks to help out. So they're pretty heavily committed. They got to make sure that BikeRush doesn't explode into a huge full screen army.
Senna has no harvesting going on whatsoever, which is a big problem for him. He is pretty much out of this game, I think, unless he has a refine.
There's a Devastator warship here as well, which is going to be able to connect Juggernaut, which can pressure. I think Tipzee's going to take... If I was Tipzee, I would make sure I get a second ref down as soon as possible, because he's got this field, and he can harvest it as well. Wow, this is a really hardcore, pre-thought-out strategy from Tipzee and Bike, and they didn't see it coming until it hit them. That's very important.
I actually faced this strategy, and it was really powerful. I couldn't stop it. I didn't expect it to come as soon as it did. Like, that's the thing. You just don't... You've never seen it before. Like,
yeah.
It just appeared. You don't know what to do.
I mean, he did do a lot of damage to Tipzee's Marv with the Mind Strike, but that buys him a little bit of time. But Nash, yeah, phasing, maybe he thinks there's a stealth tower here. There's actually no stealth tower at all. And Senna's actually backed off. I mean, what's he going to hope to achieve? He can't harvest anything. He's going to have to take BikeRush's field, which is just going to weaken BikeRush.
I think his best option would be just to surrender. Like, sell all of his buildings, then surrender with just one, so he gives all of his ally. I think that's maybe his best option here.
Yeah, I mean, they know there's no stealth tower here, so they're instantly moving their units away there, and he's just going to clean the rest of these up. Senna has no build radius, BikeRush has no build radius, which means Tipzee has this field, and he's got the second ref down on it, a third ref down on his expansion, so Tipzee has 3 refs on his back fields, and he's harvesting.
BikeRush has a huge task ahead of him here, doesn't he? He has to deal with 2 opponents who have both fully saturated fields. He really needs to make this push happen now before it gets out of control for
Tipzee's
Phoenix.
moving.
I think
Tipzee's on the move, so he's moving his MCV. I think he might be looking to double tower drop and help defend Nash. What he needs to concentrate on now is to help Nash out, defend Nash space, make sure Nash doesn't get overrun. That's going to buy them some very precious time as well for him to put double Sonic down or something like that. The Devastators are here, so they'll kill the infantry.
Not before dying to the Venoms, unfortunately. The Hexpod is being stalled. If that gets out, that's going to be pretty much what he needs. I can't see him holding this back without it. The Marv does live in the bottom. I thought that would die to the Jugs, but no, it will escape.
This is a problem. I mean, Bike's trying to base push up here with Senna's MCV. I don't think they're going to have enough to overrun this, because Nash doesn't really need to do much, just hold out as long as possible, and Tipzee will just eventually win the game, and BikeRush is taking losses in this field. The Hexapod's out, which is going to be here to tank, and more Sonic emitters are coming up now, so Tipzee's just helping him out. Another Sonic getting dropped. He's now targeting the avatars, because if you destroy them, you just lower the firepower. Tipzee trying to flank. He will momentarily be pushed back. Did he lose one of his MCVs? Oh no, it's right there.
He's probably going to put a refinery down on this, though. He's going to go for a tier 4, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah, he's getting shelled by those Juggernauts, and he can't see them, which is a big problem. He's going to Shockwave Bike's Redeemer, and he's going to get away. He's going to miss. Again, that's one of the problems here. I mean, Shockwave doesn't guarantee you really anything.
I think it's just, I mean, Bike, how does he deal with this now? He's up against 2 players. Both of them have their epic units. BikeRush, he kind of needs Spectres, I feel, in this instance.
Tipzee's second MCV is under serious bombardment, but unfortunately because of that, Tipzee gets a free shot on him. And he's just gonna keep firing. I think he needs to scan because this is stealth. A plasma missile battery comes down. Oh, that's a huge EMP. I don't think it's going to be enough because Senna's retreating.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything there to like kill that. The Hexpod will come in. Doesn't have a commando inside of it, so
that is a huge EMP. And oh no, Rage Gen with the MCV on the creek bed, which means that's a dead MCV. Tipsy may lose his Marv though.
For, like the $300 per jug Phoenix got. That is going to be it.
I mean, at the end of the day, it was a good defense by Bike and Senna. Towards the end there, they were really making him work for it. But at the end of the day, it was just going to be a matter of time. Tipsy was just getting more and more powerful as the game went on, so he was starting to snowball. And look at that, being able to harvest Tipsy Senna's field. Senna had no clue that was coming. He had no clue, and it was perfect because they hardcore cleaned up the scouts. Bike Rush did get in, but he went around the top, so he didn't see the second MCV. He only saw the first one, and it was at the expansion, which is normal. So they completely jumped them, and they just had the time they needed to make that strategy work. All right, here we go. Game number 3. We have a series on our hands. This is a best of 7, so I hope you're ready for a long one because we've got at least at a minimum 3 more games, but it's probably going to be more with the way things are going. But we are here on Arizona Sunshine, I believe is the name of the map. And on the top right-hand side, playing as the green nod, we have Stephen Donald Nashington, aka Flo, aka Phoenix, and his ally, z+Tipzee, as the purple GDI, so he's staying with his GDI faction.
Speaking of staying with factions, we can see Senna down here retaining GDI. He's going to be GDI, and also Bike Rush sticking with a mock. So I'm guessing he just likes that late game, the late game perks of being mock, because you get various tools at your disposal for less, like the disruption towers, they cost less, and the venoms and such, they're just better than nod.
I personally think, yeah, mock is the best late game faction in terms of the nod, because they've got everything in the arsenal and all the really good upgrades and things like that. They're just better than nod, because nod don't have those supercharged shredder turrets. Their venoms aren't quite as good. You can still play similarly to mock, but yeah, mock also have the ability to just unlimited EMP enemy epics or attacks or stuff like that. So that's pretty huge when you think about it.
One thing I never liked about the mock infantry EMP was how long it lasted. Because at the end of the day, the EMP buggy always made more sense because it lasted longer and it was cheaper.
I mean, you can't have EMP drafted out of the most basic structures. They're EMPs for as long as an EMP buggy. That would be so broken. So they have to shorten it. Because think about it, man. If you wouldn't have to build EMP buggies, you wouldn't have to do anything else. That EMP, I mean, even now we see that EMP being chained, making it more than the few seconds it'd be so broken that it wouldn't be funny.
So there's one thing we mentioned: the Mock Awaken drafted. If your allies GDI and goes for an armory, you could dump those single Awaken into the armory and just get the full squad, right?
That's definitely going to happen at the start of the game.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of it actually.
It's gimmicky as hell. Bike Rush does take out the Raider buggy coming from Nashington, so they're aware there's some bikes. They're both moving their MCVs. Tipsy takes slight hull damage, nothing too serious.
Bike, if you've noticed, is doing the exact same thing as he did versus Drive in the future. Went for the 3 bikes and the buggy, but he's not actually committing. He's just driving.
He's just driving around trying to draw something out. Nash did pack his MCV up, move it slightly, and redeploy it. I'm not sure if that was an error. It seems to be unusual.
Double War Factory now for Tipsy.
Oh, really? For Tipsy? Before ref? Yeah. Oh, he's moving to the MCV. We got a Predator push. We have 2 War Factory Pred push. Are they going to spot this?
I mean, you'd think Bike would, because he has the map presence, right, with the bikes.
I mean, he hasn't got the map presence where Tipsy is. And Senna, he sees Pitbulls, but he's probably just thinking, oh yeah, it's just Pitbulls. He is building some Predator tanks. A second tank comes out, and yeah, look at this. They must be aware of it, because a second War Factory comes up. It's pretty heavily delayed, because he probably cancelled a ref that was halfway done. But, so I mean, Tipsy could... he's going to move forward. We have a portal down, so it looks like it's going to be infantry and Predators.
I think Bike Rush and Senna could be having a bit of trouble here. Bike Rush is queuing bikes, but that's not really the unit that you want to be seeing against Predator tanks, is it?
Flame.
To go for...
Yeah, he's already got Flame on his infantry, so he's using Predator tanks, and then Nash is using Flame.
Oh my god, this is such
is
a
a problem.
devastating...
This is a problem.
No AP ammo at all.
I think he's going to try to focus down these Shredder turrets. He's actually building Awaken squads fresh out of the barracks, but they are getting cut down as soon as they're built. And look at this, they're destroying the Shredder turrets as they come up. And if this infantry builds up too high, it's going to become unstoppable. And it's going to be hard to crush them because there's so much units here as well. Nash accidentally given a move order there.
I do think, look, Tipzee's been focusing on that war factory, but all that while he just lost his entire army. Senna was able to fend that back. He's now got a sizable amount of tanks now. So
he just replaced the war factory as well.
They focused on that war factory, man. They didn't kill the units.
Yeah, I think maybe it would have been better. Yeah, overwhelm the units. I mean, it's lucky that Senna had a second war factory queued. Otherwise, maybe it could have an impact. They're not actually attacking. Senna's moving forward to try to get build radius because obviously the infantry is still going to be difficult to handle. There's no refs down for Tipzee and Nash though. Although, yeah, Bike and Senna don't have refs down either, so never mind.
Ideally, you'd like to have a tier 2 down before moving the MCV. But I guess they just want to push their advantage now just to stop the infantry from, you know, getting into a crazy large number.
Yeah, it's the thing. If they continue to move the MCV forward, they can obviously take their anti-infantry with them. And Tipzee's going to back off. Should be able to take that tank out.
Oh, there's harassment in the back of Bike's base. He's going to lose his harvester. Tipzee will hit that.
Was that just 2 pit bulls? Oh no, sorry, there's 2 bikes there. Those are actually Nash's bikes, so Nash and Tipzee are comboing up for an attack. There is some bikes in Nash's base though as well, so these guys are now starting to stab each other in the back. This is going to get messy.
This is really good by Senna. He's putting a refinery on the blue type rim just because it's grown so much. So that's going to really propel him as far as eco is concerned.
Big problem. With only gun type weaponry, it's taken a while to clean the bikes up. They will get them. Probably about 2, maybe 3 harvesters were destroyed. So still a good harass by Bike. But yeah, putting the ref down on the blue field, I mean, obviously that ref has limited lifespan, but the sheer amount of money that these harvesters are now going to be delivering will be quite overwhelming.
There's 4 orcas, by the way. If they kill these harvesters before they unload them, that's going to be... And oh my god.
There's blue tip in there. Oh god, that hurts. That completely negates the ref placement because he hasn't even got his money back for that yet. And he lost 2 harvesters.
That was such a sick transition that he made there going for the orcas.
There's going to be another engage here as well. I don't think they have quite enough. Oh, the orcas are coming back. Does he have more orcas?
He's got those the same orcas.
The same ones.
Oh my god.
He must have used the rockets perfectly.
Another wave here. Is Bike Rush recovering?
Wow, Senna's in deep trouble, man. He's got no ref on the green. He's just got this 1 ref here and 1 harvester. He doesn't have AP ammo. Nash doesn't even need to fight this. I mean, he could probably just back off if he wants. I mean,
Bike is returning the favor. He's killing harvesters. Tipzee's losing harvesters. So, how many does that leave him with? 3, 4.
Yeah, they probably needed to leave some rocket squads back to defend against this. Nash is responding with some rocket squads. Now they should be able to clean that up.
Tipzee has his sight set on Senna's economy. He's going to kill up the remaining harvesters. AA does come down, so it looks like he will pay this time. Not going to kill a harvester. This could be a mistake for nothing here.
Oh my god, he doesn't lose an orca. That's unbelievable. But yeah, he does lose a ref.
How's that even possible, man? Like, there was 2 AA there.
I think that the split on those orcas, look at the health bars on the orcas, man. 3 of them are in the red, 1's in the slightly lighter green. But Tipzee losing that to a click. I mean, Bike Rush, he has no units because he went for the clicks. But, I mean, as long as he can hold out.
The moment particle beams comes online, those infantry are going to be wasted.
Yeah, the Venoms and Stealth Tanks, I mean, he's going to use Stealth Tanks. Nash is going to have to go for bikes to deal with those. I mean, the Orcas can hunt down Stealth Tanks quite well, but you don't want to trade too heavily.
He doesn't have sensor pods, though. I do personally prefer going for Zone Troopers.
He's going to target Senna's economy. Look at this, he doesn't need sensor pods because he wants to go for Senna's harvesters. He's going to get 2. And he's not going to have enough rockets left, unfortunately, to get a 3rd one. So we're unfortunately taking a dangerous way out of town, and that will be the end of the Orcas.
Unfortunately for Tipzee, one of his harvesters, which is full of Tiberium, is not actually doing anything. Though the same can be said for Senna in the middle field, so he can get that back to work. Though I'm not sure, he should have just avoided that back to the blue field.
Stealth tanks now coming into Tipzee's expansion, and there's no defense here. There's some Predator tanks up the top, but they're not very close. Instant reaction from Tipzee to pull the harvesters, and now the Predator tanks are responding. He's going to lose 2 harvesters, probably a 3rd. That's really going to hurt. And I think maybe is he going to go for a 4th? He is, but that's going to cost him. That's going to cost him these stealth tanks. 1 stealth tank is down. Yeah, he's going to lose both stealth tanks, and he got 3 harvesters.
I think he'll get a 4th one with the Venoms here. They do pretty decent DPS.
That's quite good. Yeah, that really hurts him. There was an attack in Bike Rush's base, but it looks like it's been defended.
The action has been mostly focused up in the top, though. Senna's coming in with a huge army. I'm not sure if Tipzee can stop. He probably needs a Sonic emitter, I think, to deal with this.
Does he have a Tech Senna? I don't believe he does.
No, there's even M coming down here. That's
look at the EMP there. Yeah, Senna has almost no economy, but he has an army, so as long as he doesn't lose that, he should be fine. Yeah, Tipzee's...
You can tell everything here, like, this is some crazy action.
Tipzee has just tapped out.
Really? I guess they feel they can't hold this back any further. There is eco, though, for them. I don't think all is lost just yet.
He needs to hold Senna's attack, and then maybe he can stabilize.
Yes, Senna, he recovered really quickly. Like, he took so many harvester losses in the blue field.
I mean, he only has 1 ref as well, like, and he's barely touched the blue tip field, so he really hasn't been refining much at all.
And he just comes out with a huge, massive army.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting that he could do that. I mean, for the longest time, he had no ref on an expansion. He had the ref on the blue tip field and then lost almost all the harvesters. The blue tip field is only about a 1/3 gone as well. And with just 1 ref on the blue field with 2 to the green field with 2 harvesters, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's harvested enough Tiberium to produce what he's got.
No, all those tanks are wounded. They may want to get them back to a war factory for repairs. Blue tip field can be harvested here by Senna. There is a blue field in the corner. Not sure if Nash will notice that. It is full of Tiberium, so if he's in, if he has a lack of funds, then that's definitely something that he could pick up on.
I mean, Nash is going to fight, and as long as he can get his economy up, if he can get a 2nd ref on the bottom field, you know, he'll be looking pretty. He got a couple of harvesters from Tipzee that were left behind, which is good. But I mean, Bike throughout this whole time is now just he's got 3 ref on the top field. He's going for avatars.
He's going for triple airfield Venom spam.
Is he? Oh yeah, he's actually got 4 air towers. There's one in the back of his base as well. So looking to spam these out. I mean, Nash is going to need Tib Core, because otherwise his Venoms will be able to overrun a lot of his ground.
The thing is, there's no GDI player anymore, which means there's no supersonic airstrike, which makes these a lot better, I think.
There's no tungsten shell or anything like that, so yeah, it's definitely going to have to be Tib Core that deals with this. He's going to try to snipe harvesters down. You got to watch the overlap there, so he's going to have to back off because it's not really good at all to fight with those types of SAM turrets with Venoms.
What's your thoughts on the Signet Generator upgrade? I think it makes the Venoms look aesthetically more intimidating having that on them. It makes them look...
It actually has a visual upgrade, does it?
Yeah, so I don't know if it has like a psychological effect when you see that.
I don't think I ever recall what it looks like.
It definitely looks different though.
Causes the Venom to appear as multiple units on the enemy radar. Yeah, no, that's obviously the radar isn't that fantastic in this game, so...
No, it's actually pretty awful.
it is.
That's at least the radar works in that game properly.
So Senna has now got a second ref finally on the expansion, but he definitely seems to be feeling the effect of the lack of Tiberium now. I think it's a bit late for Nash, and Nash still hasn't got a second ref on that bottom field, so he just lost the only one he had that was down there, so he's looking pretty sick.
He's dragging this on. I mean, I can't blame him. I mean, it is a tournament, like, there's a lot at stake, but Senna's just going to come through into this base, and I don't think he's going to be, I mean, that's his entire power, right? If he loses that, he's going to be in dire straits. Tib Vane as well, coming down.
Oh,
Will...
I don't know why the Tib Chem plant was in that field. That was a bit silly. But yeah, I think Nash is at the point now where he can't really recover, and he's going to be killed with the next attack. Looks like he's going to want to fight it out still.
Yeah, we got a nuclear missile for Bike, and he's also chilling in his base with like 30 Venoms, so there you go.
I think he knows this one's done, so he's just going to build these Venoms up to the point where he can just walk in and just win the game. Senna's going to fight by himself.
I expect Phoenix to just tap it out now. Oh, he's got some Mantis. Tib Core Mantis, very powerful. They do a lot of splash damage.
Really good. Oh, look at that splash damage. Oh my god. That's quite a few Venoms then. But, I mean, he's got so many of them. I think Nash is just going to tap out when he sees this type of attack force.
Yeah, there is a Redeemer coming out, but... Oh, actually, maybe...
That was a bit silly. I don't know what Bike is doing. He's just kind of flying throughout all those sand turrets.
Yeah, what is he doing, man? Is he just trolling right now?
I think he's just messing with him.
Is it like a psychological thing?
Could be a psychological thing, just showing that maybe that he's in such a position that he can't lose the game from here. Yeah, Senna also asking Nash why he's still in the game. I mean, yeah, his window to get back in the game is done. BikeRush now, still continuing to build nothing but Venoms. He has some avatars. Does he have a Redeemer out?
For some reason, Bike has a Harvester in Nash's blue Tiberium field.
Why not?
There. How are they going to close this one out? Are they just going to wait for the nuclear missile to time out?
I think maybe Nash is doing the opposite, where he's trying to keep them in the game, just to frustrate them that he won't leave, maybe. Reverse mind games.
No, I think that Senna and Bike will just be probably having a conversation, like just a casual talk now. They just won't even be trying much.
Oh, dude, Senna doesn't talk.
What do you mean he doesn't talk? I mean, the comms must be excellent with these guys.
Oh,
You've seen
my God. This guy spoke like 2 sentences to me in like 8 games last time we played.
Well, maybe he doesn't respect you, I don't know.
Oh, full of crap. So yeah, this game is going to continue. So I mean, the thing is, Nash has got 2 ref down now, so if they're not careful, he's going to be able to build another army, and if he gets a full screen army and he wins an engagement, you know, there's a thrown game.
Full screen army.
Yeah, full screen army.
That's what Senna does every game.
Yeah, it's an army which fills up the whole screen. Takes that jug out.
Nash, he doesn't have stealth.
Because he's black. It's had to build purifiers as well, which is a real pain.
Yeah, they're kind of useless when you can't use them against buildings, because what's the flamethrower good for besides that?
Yeah, Senna's going to lose his Ma, but here come the 50 zillion Venoms. Although it's actually not that many.
These SAM turrets, but I guess he feels it's worth trading with the Spectre artillery. Marv will go down though. Shockwave a bit too late. Senna's really making an ass of this though, isn't he? He really could have handled that a bit cleaner. The Shockwave could have came in tandem with the assault with the Marv, but
he's probably not too stressed anymore, I think, since given the current situation of this game.
Yeah, Nash hasn't even harvested like his field, if I can see, but he just hasn't touched it.
I mean, Tipzee's main never even got mined out before, I don't believe. There we go.
Finally.
I was gonna say, Nash, you can fight on as long as you have a chance, but if you're in a position where it's really that you're kind of done, like, probably just tap out. But yeah, it was a promising game. They could have. They could have got there, but unfortunately, it just shows you how bad things got for them once CGF finally listened to the pros and dropped support. It's like they were just sinking it. They were just an anchor. But anyway, we have game number 4 here on Unsound Investment. Surprise, surprise. On the bottom left-hand side, we have playing as the purple GDI. It's z+Tipzee and his ally Phoenix playing as the green black hand.
I don't believe the faction matchup has changed too much. I think it's identical to the previous game. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But anyways, we have Senna up in the top left playing as GDI once again, and his ally BikeRush going to be here fresh from their victory in the previous game. They're going to be feeling pretty good after that game. Pretty convincing win, I'd say, from them.
Again, another game which could have gone either way relatively quickly, so I think a bit unfortunate Tipzee and Nash weren't able to perform better in the last half of that game, but it's definitely a close series. I don't think they're going to be too disappointed just because, they did have a really staunching win on Hurricane, and whoa, do you see this?
Is he going for what?
There's two ref, they're both, oh my god, there's a comm center down, bottom right hand side. They are both ecoing on the same field. It's going to be an airfield. It's going to be, it's going to be an all-in, I reckon.
Is he going to do a rig? No, of course not. This is...
The Raider buggy comes out from Bike, and now it's going across the map now. It will go, of course, to this base first, so double airfield. Oh my god. They might want to stop that Raider buggy.
If that gets in, it's over, right? Like, Senna just builds pit bulls. Oh, he sees... Why would you let... Oh, I guess he would...
He's just going for it. He's just going for it, yeah.
Oh, man. Bike's going for bikes.
I mean...
But I guess Orcas are really good versus
Orcas can one-shot them, yeah. I mean, maybe it would have been better to go for buggies if he micros these Orcas. And BikeRush is moving them away, so maybe he targets the Harvester. Oh, he's going to target the buggy. Oh, this is perfect for him. He needs to target the bikes.
How was the correct? The focus firing.
Oh, he gets 2. He's overlapping a lot of them.
He could have done better there, man. He could have killed.
He could have done better. He only lost 1 Orca, so he's still okay because Nash is going to hit him, I think, any second now. I'm assuming Nash has got something.
Meanwhile, Bike is getting 2v1. What's Senna doing? Is he doing anything here to help? He should get a barracks down, put down a Guardian cannon, I think. That's the best option to help his ally.
This is a good effort if Bike holds this 2v1. There's more Orcas here now. I don't know how many missiles he's got left. He turns around. Oh, there's a flame tank here. Oh my god. And BikeRush sells the MCV. There's a flame tank here, and there's bikes to defend. They need something to do with those rockets. Oh, he dodges the EMP. Did you see that? That was clutch.
An insane hold by Bike. Oh my god.
They really need to push with this flame tank though. Once he dodged the EMP, he should have just gone in.
Flame tank won't do anything. Senna's here now with pit bulls. Senna was basically left untouched this whole time. He's got 3 and 1, but that's way better relative to the other players, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's a problem. I mean, maybe, they know BikeRush is going to do that buggy scout every single game as well, because he's been doing it in every single series. He's done it in every game so far. I mean, he's just scouting. Nash has some units.
Remember that Wasteland, what was it, the map that they lost, BikeRush and Senna? I said that they'd scout after. that's the game they probably realized that they'd probably get screwed by that sort of strategy again or something similar.
It's not completely over. I mean, Senna just lost a Harvester, and Bike doesn't have an MCV, and he's just on 2 Harvesters. So, I mean...
Ooh, Harvester goes down. That's huge, right? Wow, Senna's only got 1 Harvester.
BikeRush had to sell his power up, which means he cannot power anything, which means his production is going to be virtually non-existent. Raider Buggy's now trying to clean up the last of the infantry, and they will do so. BikeRush is going to be overrun.
Why is Senna went for a triple refinery? Why would you do that?
Why would he do it? Yeah, I know. He's going to be... I mean, Nash is all in, so...
Why would you do that, man? He just had to go for a double war factory. His ally was getting sieged.
BikeRush is going to be overrun now. So he's going to lose his last Harvester. Oh no, that Harvester is not killed by Steve Nash. I think some indecision there. He's now having to fight Pitbulls. And BikeRush is still alive. I mean, that third ref from Senna, the thing is that, yeah, Tipzee cannot recover. And, I mean, Tipzee doesn't even have a... he's got a refinery, but he's only got 1 airfield.
That hasn't allocated any at all to defend against the Orcas, so he will lose 2 Harvesters. That's unnecessary, actually. He could have seen this coming a mile away.
The problem is that Bike still hasn't lost those Harvesters. Nash could have destroyed them, but all BikeRush is doing is every time an attack comes, he drives his Harvesters to the very far left, and Nash just doesn't seem to acknowledge that that's happening. He's now attacking Senna.
Senna's
wow.
losing all of his Harvesters.
Yeah, Senna is... He's got 1 Harvester.
How are they making this work?
I don't know how they're making this work, no.
I think the reason for it is because Senna did the worst possible thing against a double all-in and went eco and didn't assist in defending. I mean, granted, he did make some pitballs. Now he surrenders. Bike has Senna's base. I guess there is a chance for him. He has 3 Harvesters technically, so it is actually a pretty even game if you consider that.
I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Yeah, I mean, BikeRush is now going to take over basically ownership of this game, essentially. These bikes over here are going to be destroyed.
I have more faith in the game now that Senna has quit, but we'll see.
Oh, takes out that power plant. This is the thing, I mean, he's building Raider Buggies, but Raider Buggies can't really deal with the bikes. Here come the Orcas. I mean, again, I don't know why he's not targeting the Harvesters with the Orcas. They're so good at it, he can just destroy them. He's doing it now because he's going to overrun this position, and BikeRush is going to just forfeit the position, realizing that he can no longer hold that. In the meantime, he has rebuilt 2 additional Harvesters.
I think he could have rallied those not Harvesters to the left field, so he didn't have to defend 2 locations. I think he would have been in a really good position if he rallied those over there.
Oh, that Hammerhead getting taken out. That's an expensive piece of hardware at this stage of the game. But there's not enough pitbulls here, and because Bike has been building Harvesters, there's no defense at home. He's in danger of being overrun. Yeah, he's trying to build some infantry for the bunker, but I mean, at the end of the day, Nash can go around the bunker, and he's going to go into the main.
But yeah, he's going to lose his Harvesters. Is there enough bikes? Yeah, there's a number of buggies there mixed in.
The towers are just scaring him away. He's just deciding he doesn't want to do that.
How is this not doing anything? Where are the Orcas? They're going back for another round. Yeah, they are.
The Orcas, yeah, I think the Orcas is what's going to do the damage, because at the end of I mean, he should not go near that bunker for starters. It's a triple rocket bunker and he can't pop it. He needs to stay away from that. The Orcas
all bunch up.
Yeah, they're trying to take on pitbulls, yeah.
BikeRush, can he do this defense?
It's going to be tight. A lot of pitbulls being destroyed. Oh, I think Nash is going to overrun this position. Another Harvester will fall after those pitbulls are done. And yeah, I think he's done it.
Has he got anything here, Bike? He's got 2 Harvesters.
He's got 2 Harvesters, but I mean, Nash, I think he needs to get away from this position, just go to kill those 2 Harvesters, and that's it. Oh my god, how did they win that game?
I don't know what to say. That was just unbelievable, that game.
Too much, but we are in game number 5. We have an even series here, Leaf. And we're going into Tiberian Forest, which effectively is Forgotten Forest, on the top left-hand side, playing as the Vanilla Scrin, sorry. That's going to be Stephen Nashington. He's the green Vanilla Scrin, and his ally, z+Tipzee, not z-Tipzee, z+Tipzee is marked of Kane. So Tipzee is switching things up.
Yeah, and so is Team BikeRushOwnz Senna, as BikeRush, not so much for BikeRush, but Senna definitely has switched his faction. BikeRush and Senna both going to be marked of Kane, going to be spawning on the right side of this map. 2 mocks. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. There's obviously going to be less faction-specific synergy between 2 mocks, I think, compared to, for example, teaming with a Scrin or a GDI with mock.
Yeah, it's just the same set of units. You just have twice as many, essentially. So, I mean, having 2 different factions blend together is usually quite good, obviously, because it gives you significant advantages and you can cover the weaknesses of other things a little bit easier. But I think Nash and Tipzee, because of the faction selection, have something in mind for this map. They have a very specific build, maybe a base push or maybe some late game strategy that they're after that will throw Senna and Bike for a loop.
Yeah, Scrin, once they get their eco up, is extremely powerful. There's one thing, I'd be quite comfortable seeing 2 mocks as Nash because there's no GDI, so you're going to be safe. There's no Firehawks, and Firehawks is typically the name of the game in the late game. They usually go in with Firehawks to deny the tech. Yeah,
that was interesting. They both built a Raider buggy, both Senna and Bike built a Raider buggy, and then they hardcore countered the buzzers. But of course, Tipzee has a Raider buggy, so that's really going to negate that effectiveness. The Raider buggy will be destroyed as well, though. So they'll come out ahead there, but I mean, Seeker Tank comes out from Nash. Maybe he's been baited into that, although he knows there are some bikes out.
It does look really weird, doesn't it? 2 buggies, because you normally would expect 1. There's just no need for 2. But I guess after the last game, they really did not want something like that to surprise them again.
That was definitely pretty crazy, that last game there. So, yeah, well done for Nash and Tipzee not to give up on it, even though they looked like they might have been losing it. They stuck with it and they pushed, and that's what you got to do. If you do an all-in like that, you have to keep pushing no matter what. You can't just give up. You have to keep playing as if you're always going to win.
Yeah, that's a note that I can definitely pull out of Nash's book there.
Because in my experience, yeah, if you're doing all-in rush and you just kind of, even though you think, oh, I've lost the game, but I'll keep playing, you actually often end up winning the game because you just end up just breaking through. So, yeah, that's why I really never give up until it's actually over. If I seem like I'm behind, I still push the attack.
But of course, in several instances, like we've seen with Nash on the Arizona Sunlight, is that the map? Yeah, that one.
Yep.
He probably could have surrendered a lot sooner than he did, but not to be. Anyways, and both sides here just gonna keep each other scouted. No 2 war factories, it seems, for either of our players here.
EMP comes down, which allows basically Tipzee to destroy the bikes that were sent out from Senna, so that was nice.
Nice control by Senna, gonna pull back those rockets just so that buzzer doesn't kill them.
Oh, Nash getting EMP'd up the top now, and he's gonna lose those 2 Seeker tanks. Maybe not.
Pushing the top, that's interesting. Usually you go for the bomb because there's no war factory there. It's just harder to push an area where there's a war factory because they can just, you know, pull units towards it.
Nash is committing. He's got a spike down. He's destroyed all the bikes. More bikes coming out now. Tipzee is responding to the top as well, so they're going to combine for an attack here. And yeah, they're not expecting it to come from this direction, so maybe it's going to catch them off guard. Especially now that Tipzee's arriving.
Senna's trying to... he probably should go for a laser turret, I think.
Will Nash put the repair drones down though? That's the question. Bike is being forced to move his harvesters, so his economy stalls while this happens. But he hasn't lost a harvester yet. And this is what I saw in some of the other games. Tipzee and Nash would get in and they would damage harvesters, but they wouldn't actually destroy any. See, once again, there's another red harvester, which is just backing out of the fight. So Bike Rush, 2 harvesters on 10% health, and none of them are destroyed.
Do the Nod Harvesters lose stealth when they go into that heavy damage state? I think they do, right?
I believe there is an exception. If they're on heavy damage mode, yeah, they'll still retain stealth. It's only stealth tanks and vertigo bombers that don't do that.
How there's a minor like inconsistency there.
I think it's because, I mean, it's a harvester, and I think it's designed that way because the harvester doesn't attack anything. It's designed to be stealthy, and they just wanted it to be like that, just in case it did escape from damage, it could re-stealth and be saved as like a clutch mechanic.
Senna just lost a harvester there, but Tipzee paid quite heavily for it.
I mean, Tipzee's going to get some blue tib. Nash is trying to take blue tib, but I mean, yeah, look at that. He instantly moves his harvester back because he realizes he's not going to be able to save this. There is a mechapede here though, so maybe he can do something with that.
Yeah, quite a number of them out. He needs to be careful that he doesn't go into a, in the fog, because that will just invite headshots on the mechas.
Yeah, we can see that the avatars are out on the move for both Senna and Bike, and the Tib Chem plants are coming down, so it's a tournament. They're more than happy to just click their way to victory if they need to do that. So can Tipzee and Nash withstand that? Here comes the first click. Tipzee loses one.
Click.
He gets the sell-off. So Tipzee...
At least he forced the use one or two catalyst missiles. Phoenix gets away scot-free. I guess if you're going to use them, you'd use them on the Nod guy, because the Scrin harvesters don't take any damage.
Yeah. So Nash is going to be completely completely fine, but Tipzee's been somewhat crippled by that, so it's going to take him a little while to recover. Nash might have to make a play. They're going to have to do some type of retaliation here. I don't think they can just withstand that type of damage.
Yeah, Nash, he's going to use... is that...
Yeah, it's on the middle
I'm sorry,
field.
that... Not sure if that was worth it, though. He only got a few units. I guess he's officially ahead, though, to afford to do that. Is Senna going for him? And yes, he is.
The problem here now is that Tipzee his eco is down and his unit count is now gone, so he's not going to be able to do a lot for a while. Nash does have a base up the top, so with a completely unhindered economy, he's been able to expand, and he's got an economy up there. So yeah, BikeRush and Senna have not moved to the middle just yet, but Senna is moving the MCV, so they'll be there shortly. But quite a lot of tripods out from Nash, so he's been doing a good job getting those numbers up.
It just doesn't seem like enough, though, because there's now 2 Redeemers on the field for both Senna and BikeRush, and if they get those race gens off, it's just going to be crippling.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their plan was, Nash, Tipzee, because they picked these specific factions, but they haven't really done any specific strategy. They've just kind of played normal, and I think that's perfectly fine from Senna and Bike. Tipzee does have some tanks along the bottom. Nash won't lose any of his tripods thanks to the phase, but that ability is now done for the next few minutes.
Yeah, there's tons of avatars now out for BikeRush. Where's his Redeemer? He's moving out of it now. I think Phoenix needs to go for his Hexapod. He needs some form of frontline tank just to absorb damage. That's what he needs.
It would be helpful. I mean, he's Scrin vanilla, so you can definitely benefit from having a Hexapod. It's not as if he's a Reaper, and if you're Reaper, it's usually better just to build tripods. I mean, not unless you really need a huge meat shield. He does EMP Senna's Redeemer, and a Stasis comes down, which means he's going to make a play for it, but there's a lot of avatars behind this. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to... Yeah.
I don't like this because he only got 1 avatar in the Stasis. If you're going to use it, you'd want a number of the avatars in there as well.
Well, he wants to use it because he wants to EMP the Redeemer when it comes out of Stasis, but the problem is there's too many avatars here, and there's a second Redeemer, and it's going to Rage Gen, and the EMP comes down. This is all going in the favor of Senna and BikeRush. Senna can now Rage Gen. He's got a Stealth Redeemer. These tripods by themselves, yeah, they got wrecked. Tipzee has a counter attack, but it really feels minimal compared to what just happened then.
Yeah, Phoenix just lost his entire army. He has nothing now.
I think Tipzee's going to try to defend, but I mean, look at the army that's coming. He's got an avatar and an obelisk. Like, he's not holding that.
He has 4 Mechapeds, but like literally everything on the map kills those right now, so it's not really ideal.
Yeah, Senna's going to overrun this base. All the defenses are now falling here, and it looks like Tipzee has tapped out of the game, so Nash will be left to fight by himself. We'll have to see if Nash is going to continue to fight by himself. He has an economy at the top of the map, so I mean, he's got money, but all this tech is about to be overrun. The Mastermind just got killed as well. He is going to get a Redeemer out, which essentially was Tipzee's Redeemer.
I think if Tipzee and Phoenix focused their efforts on damaging Senna in the start, you know, when they did that super aggressive bike play with the Seekers, they could have been more successful, because we've seen in the previous game that Senna was very greedy. He went for a lot of harvesters, so I think maybe Senna would have been less prepared than BikeRush to deal with that. Yeah,
Senna's definitely been greedy most of these games, and I do definitely question the faction picks from these guys, like Scrin and Mock. Like, that seems a bit unusual on this level that they would pick it unless they had a specific strategy, but just playing normal was not going to be enough. I mean, Senna and Bike are just going to overpower them at some point, so I like the fact that Tipzee and Nash do specific strategies, but they need to keep doing those to keep throwing the other guys off.
That was a crucial game to win for Bike and Senna, because whoever won that game is going to go in to an ace match, right? So they have 2 games to lose.
And Nash got the most amount of money by far in that game as well, so... But here we have game number 6. This could be the end of the series, Leaf. We are on Ice Arena in the top left-hand side, playing as the Nod Vanilla. It's Nashington, that's right, he's playing as Nod Vanilla, and his ally z+Tipzee transitioning all the way through the faction tree to Nod. So he will also be playing as Nod Vanilla.
And in the bottom, we can see Senna playing as Nod this time. It's actually the first time, besides the last game, that he's played the Nod faction. But I digress. He's going to be Nod down here, and his ally, BikeRush, is going to be marked of Kane. So 2 nods for them. And iGreen0 hope that this is not going to be the final game. I hope that we do get an ace match, but yeah.
The pressure would be on if we end up in an ace match for all players. I mean, you've been in the ace match before. We've seen that in the past. Obviously, a very famous one with you and BikeRush. That would have just been like inconceivable, the amount of pressure you would have been under in that game.
I never played the map either, so that was the first.
You never played it?
Yeah, so I went Refinery first, I think, or something like that. I had to scroll the map crazy. I should have really done more preparation, but
that map had been around for quite some time.
It's a pretty good one. I always saw it as a good map for GDI because of, you know, Juggernauts you could sit behind a mountain and just shoot your enemy down.
Yeah, it's definitely had a lot of terrain on it, but we have a bike scout instead of a raider buggy scout. Did BikeRush build a scout?
We've seen him go for bikes.
I don't think he did. Is this the first map he didn't build a raider scout?
I'm going to go to his view just to see what he can see.
See if he's got one.
I think... Oh, he can see...
I mean, Senna did a bike scout, so he knows that Tipzee's got some bikes.
Yeah, I think BikeRush this time didn't want to go for a scout, but yeah, he's going to get attacked now by Tipzee's bikes. This, though, came well in advance. So they're going to join up with Nash's bikes. Not sure if Bike is aware of this, though. He may be just expecting just 2 bikes to come, but he comes down with a laser turret. Was this spotted? Oh my god, that is crazy awareness by BikeRush.
Once again, BikeRush just making it happen out of literally nothing, just always having exactly what he needs when he needs it. I mean, who would have thought? I didn't even see him, you know, had the hand of Nod there. He just knew what he needed, and he just held that attack so effortlessly. And Tipzee does beacon the second war factory that Senna just planted, so Senna is actually going to go hardcore aggressive here, and he's not going to go into an eco game.
And yeah, going to go underway with the double war factory. Not sure if you can hear dogs in the background. I don't know what they're barking about.
I can hear them just.
But yeah, 2 war factories for... Wow, is this Senna going double war factory? That's unlike Senna.
And Bike Rush as well, so both sides double war factory. Oh my god, Nash and Tipzee. Oh, Nash has got a ref, and so is Tipzee. Tipzee has a barracks out though, so he might be okay. Might be able to get enough rockets up to swell. But they're going to double hit Tipzee. They are both going to hit Tipzee now. He's got a few rocket squads. He's continuing to build them, but the Raider buggies are coming forward. He might want to start shooting at those. Nash is going to have to help.
Oh man, this could be it. Like, he's getting swarmed now by bikes, isn't he? There's not enough here to defend.
Nash's response was too slow then. He's only just arriving to the party. And look at that. He's trying his own laser turret now, which is actually going to fend this off. I mean, yeah, he lost a harvester, which is bad, but it's not terrible. Not the end of the game by far.
Yeah, Nash, his response was quite slow. He's only on 1 war factory though, so he didn't really have the units that he really needed to defend. He's got several bikes in the bottom. Gonna respond to Bike Rush, who has overwhelming sums. I think this is gonna be a problem, but a laser turret does come down. Nice call there.
These laser turrets, man, like, people are using them and they just pop bikes in almost one shot. Like, they're just really annoying.
Yeah, the rationale behind the buff was we wanted to make the all-ins on 1 war factory not dominant anymore in nod mirrors.
Have they been buffed in R15?
In the previous patch, the rate of fire was buffed, but the damage retained is the same. It's just the rate of fire that's more, and they take less power as well.
So yeah, they're actually going to be very effective against bikes, and I guess to a lesser extent buggies. Tipzee has rebuilt the harvester on his expansion now, so although having said that, Senna has 2 refs down, but with only 2 harvesters, you're not making full use of that, and Bike is the same. Bike might actually lose a harvester here. Nash goes straight in and takes it.
This is bad though, isn't it? Because he fired the volley at the harvester, which just absorbed all that damage, and he lost all of the bikes. So that's...
He's trying to go for a second harvester, and he actually gets a second harvester, so he's given up his army, but he got 2 harvesters. And
but can he...
Oh, he got some really lucky with that overlap there, popping quite a number of bikes. Oh, look at this. Tipzee is taking out the harvesters at the top.
There's nothing here. There's absolutely nothing here.
There's nothing at all.
Oh my god, he just killed himself 2 harvesters. Oh, I don't know.
I think that was 3. That might have been 3 harvesters. That was
crazy,
huge blunder by Senna. He obviously didn't see it or didn't have any scouts, and he's only just rocking up. But now he's going to just trade bikes for bikes, which Tipzee's fine. He's fine with that because he didn't take the significant economy loss.
There's more bikes.
Oh, Bike's in a lot of trouble now, isn't he?
Oh, he's going to respond though. This is the thing. If you're going to do this sort of attack, you need to make it work. You can't just suicide your bikes like that. That's good.
He lost half dozen bikes for nothing then, so might need to be a little bit careful. But having said that, Nash has 3 war factories, so he's going to be fine. He can reproduce at a huge rate. Tipzee now has 2 war factories. He's going for Dozer Blade Scorp, so he's probably going to go for Scorps while Nash sticks on the Bike buggy. But Bike has been hurt. He's trying to transition some harvesters. He's trying to get the blue tib. Senna has transferred all of his harvesters, but I mean, yeah, that hurt him. That slowed him down.
Bike has no macro. He has 1 war factory. I think getting into the mind of Bike here, I think he's hoping to get Nash's army on the tib field for the tib vein. I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, we have a tech center down.
If this hits now, he's not going to have enough time to do it. Oh my god, another harvester goes down for Bike immediately.
He doesn't have a chem plant yet. He hasn't even started building it. Oh no, that's terrible. Like,
their rush of Tipzee and Phoenix's rush did nothing.
The harvesters at the blue tib field is 3 of them, and Tipzee has scorpion tanks here.
This is just catastrophic now for Bike Rush.
Oh my god, he's going to lose all 3 harvesters. He's going to get a fair bit of bikes in response, but I mean, it doesn't matter. That's crippling.
Actually, Phoenix didn't lose as many bikes as I thought. He escapes with a couple there.
And now Tipzee's pressuring Senna, and Tipzee has Dozer Blades, and he's got numbers. He's actually going to focus down the ref. He's just going to shoot it down.
is insane.
Oh, that's
I did
critical.
not expect. I mean, it's definitely not over, but I'm just saying it's insane because they were really behind.
Yeah. I think the triple war factory from Nash really got them. And I think being caught out of position, like they just got them out of position by hitting them in multiple areas at the same time. Because Bike and Senna were trying to move as a group. And now there's battle markers all over the place. Tipzee, is in the back of the main with 2 bikes just popping those last harvesters. And Senna is wrecked.
Senna,
he's trashed.
Like one click on that single refinery that Senna has, and he's dead.
One of his harvesters, Senna, is not harvesting. He's got it on hold ground stance, or it's just not moving, which is really bad. There's the tip vein, but you know what? Nash, yeah, he lost a dozen bikes, but that click is out of the way now.
Called it like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, it's a really powerful thing to do.
He's got 5 harvesters. They're pretty badly damaged. Let's see what Nash is doing. Nash does have a tier 3, no tib core on the way. Not sure if he's going to go for a chem plant. Oh, look, Tipsy's got lasers.
Oh my god, that's it. That is it. Surely there's too many.
He's got to be careful. If there is another chem plant down, he could lose his tanks to a click, but I don't think Senna has one. No, Senna doesn't have one. Bike already used his 1 click, which means Tipzee is free to just roll over this field. There's nothing that's going to happen to him now. And, I mean, Senna's got lasers, but he's got almost no scorpions, and he doesn't even have dozer blades. Oh, this is brutal.
My god. Bike has been recovering, he's been rebuilding his harvesters, he doesn't have many units, he has particle beams, but it's not going to deal with these scorps at all. And 1 click comes down on BikeRush. Oh, that's going to be devastating if it's that refinery there. Jesus, 3 harvesters, 1 refinery.
Yeah, Nash also taking out more units down the bottom. Oh my god, they just double click Bike. They hit him with the other catalyst. Now he has nothing, and that's it. He's like, that's it. GG, Senna is gone. And I think BikeRush is about to follow suit.
Is the game froze?
Yeah, my game froze. I think they left too quickly one after the other.
I can't believe they won that game. It looked like it was in Bike and Senna's.
Yeah, it just looked like another game where Bike was just reading them like a book, and then all of a sudden Tipzee and Nash are just like, oh yeah, we're just going to hit you in like 6 different spots at the same time and just watch you break apart.
I'm not sure where Senna's army was, but when Senna hit him when Tipzee hit him with all those bikes in the top, Senna had nothing there. But where was his units?
Yeah, Senna, he got totally caught out of position then.
Tips will be probably trying to aim down Senna again.
I think that's definitely the plan if I was Tips and Senna, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ace match of the 2v2 tournament. Winner takes $200. Second prize is only $100. We're at 3 apiece, so no matter what happens, the fight will end on this dam. So we're on Wasteland Dam, and in the bottom left-hand side, starting as the green nod, it is going to be Stephen Donald Nashington for the last time, and z+Tipzee also playing as Nod Vanilla.
And amazingly, guys, like Green Zero mentioned, we're on to the ace match, which is freaking incredible if you ask me. But yeah, once again, we have BikeRush playing as the red marked of Kane. And curiously, we have also Senna playing as marked of Kane. Now, typically in Nod mirrors, it's whoever has laser capacitor scorps does better in those matchups, but we'll have to see what they make of it. It's obviously going to be interesting to see what they do.
I forgot about that, the lasers in the late game, so it's probably going to be avatars if it gets that far, so Bike Buggy into avatar. I can't see the mock players wanting to detour too far into scorps, especially if Tipzee and Nash are doing that. Ultimately, they'll get lasers, and that will be a problem. No matter what.
Yeah, and BikeRush is could be on the cards, though. It is easy to scout when both sides are not, because the buggy is just so cheap. It's so heavy, it's so armored relative to its cost, and it's quick, so it's going to be hard to catch them by surprise with any sort of rush, I think.
Bikes and buggies coming out from both Senna and BikeRush. BikeRush also managed to secure the spike and spent extra money on Enlightened squad. So Tipzee does have a Raider Scout here, but Will he spot the units from BikeRush? I believe they're going to spot all these infantry. Oh, dodges the EMP. Dodges the EMP again.
We've got buggy for Tipzee, and he's going to spot all of the bikes. In fact, is this an all-in? No, this is
no.
only
He's
bikes
packing
there,
up his
man.
MCV, but there's a lot of bikes. Tipzee's going to have to deploy, I think. Oh, BikeRush gets destroyed right up the ramp without really doing any damage, and Tipzee just beelines down the ramp with his MCV. He's not afraid at all because, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to have to try to target the bikes over the MCV, otherwise they'll lose, and Tipzee and Nash win the engagement hands down.
I think it's an awful idea telling Senna to do a bike rush. You never see him do it.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be a unit he's very fond of.
It was never gonna work, I don't think that. But yeah, it was nicely predicted by Phoenix and Tipzee. They come out well ahead there. They have 5 bikes. They can go out, cause mischief, force more spending, and they'll get more ahead.
Now, Senna just produced his 3rd harvester then as well, so Senna really committed more to that, I think, than the other guys did. He's having to build a barracks with rocket squads as well, just because he's in danger of being attacked. And again, bikes are trading over here. Senna losing more of them. Tipzee coming out ahead once again.
He just lost 2 bikes there for nothing. Not one bike went down there for Tipzee.
I think almost certainly Tipzee and Nash will do a push on Senna now. I mean, having come out ahead in the early game, you know, it's prime to push him. If they push him off this field, then basically Bike is by himself for the remainder of the tournament, and a ref comes down. It's behind Tipzee's, though. Tipzee's already harvesting. He's already refining that Tiberium, and Bike has a second war factory. But look, Tipzee beacons it. Tipzee knows.
I don't like the war factory placement for Bike. He should have had that at his allies' field, I think, to defend. I think that was the way better place for it.
This is the thing, both Nash and Tipzee are now rallying to the bottom because they know, you know, Bike's got 2 war factories. Senna's got a barracks and a war factory, so he's going to try to defend with infantry, which is good with the EMP blast. Obviously, that's nice, but BikeRush hasn't put a ref down yet. I believe, yeah, he had one queued, so it's just coming down now. But yeah, that war factory placement, obviously he was trying to hide it, but now I think it's going to play against him because it will result in a long reinforcement area.
Yep. Phoenix has a load of bikes. He's on 2 war factories. He's going to get his 3rd refinery up soon. There's a ton of bikes there for him. It's going to keep BikeRush at bay. Senna will be pretty behind here. He's only on 3 refineries. Tipzee's cruising ahead here. He's just going to get more out, and then I imagine probably push into Senna soon.
Yeah, it's a bit concerning that Nash only just put his ref down on the expansion. Oh, the Tipzee does have an attack at the back of Senna's base. Harvester is down already. He might get 2, possibly 3.
But this is a disaster for Senna.
And it's only
Senna's
a small group of bikes as well. It's just a tiny group, and he's got an elite bike there, which is going to result in a 3rd harvester going down.
Also, while that's happening, Phoenix just killed a few more bikes there. I'm not sure if he scored a harvester. There's
a dead harvester there.
Yeah.
Oh, Senna's got nothing on the expansion as well.
Jesus, Senna's just lost his entire eco. He's only got
so
2
much
harvesters.
trouble. I think we may have just witnessed the engagements, those several sporadic engagements may have just sealed the fate, at least for Senna. I mean, BikeRush, he'll fight non-stop, but the attacks are also non-stop. Nash is now going back into this field. Tipzee is joining the party as well. He's trying to find an entrance. Oh, man. Senna has a tech center. Why? And look at that, Tipzee just relentless now. They're going to win this tournament, Leaf.
Yeah, Tipzee and Phoenix are going to take it. That's interesting because when I teamed up with Bike, we beat these 2 players here. So it's nice to see.
And the players,
I don't know. Maybe I could be friendly again with BikeRush, and we could be allies again in the next 2v2 event.
Could be the synergy between certain players. Some players will blend a lot better than others, but I mean, the attacks are just coming from multiple directions now in force. I don't know what can they possibly hope to achieve. These guys are not going to stop. Their economy is on fire. Nash is expanding again. Tipzee's got his tech center. He's going for lasers. Bike's going to try to fight, but I mean, Senna's basically done.
Yeah, this is just going to be, it's going to go from bad news to worse, really. Laser capacitors on the way, another way for Bike Buggy 4. Phoenix BikeRush is going to attempt to do a small counter attack here. If he can get this aim speed, maybe, but yeah, Phoenix is going to pull back his forces. BikeRush won't get even a single harvester, I think, without paying for it heavily. Yeah, he can't really afford to lose that.
Oh my god, he didn't get it either.
Oh, yeah, he didn't, did he?
That is insane. He lost all those bikes, and yeah. GG Cognos. What is Cognos? Lasers has done for Tipzee. And both BikeRush and Senna tap out of the game.
Wow, what can you say about that series? That was really close. In fact, that last game was the opposite of close. It was very one-sided from the onset. I don't think it was a good idea telling Senna to do a BikeRush, because he never does it, right? So it doesn't add up to me.
So look, you can see the results right here as well. Like Senna flatlining after the 5-minute mark. I mean, getting him to do the BikeRush, which you never really, like you said, you never see Senna do. And then Tipzee and Ash are just like, all right, cool, we can just kind of just charge in. And even Bike was under siege. Bike was just getting hit, and he was just, even himself was having a hard time dealing with that. And Senna just snapped like a twig, and that just ended the series.